What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another Blackness video. So we are doing our July's window shopping episode. If you don't know what that is, you're new to the channel. Basically, every month we talk about the Central Market, price trends of notable items, and things that I think are important. So July is an important month because, one, we have the Heido Ball coming up. That's basically twice a year. Pearl Abyss talks about upcoming events. It's pretty big, and so we're going to get a lot of new players, returning players. And that's something I think that is important. New content, everything. Also, next week, as of July, I think 8. So a couple days from now, we're gonna get a big event for gathering or life skilling and PvE and like grinding. So prices are going to be going up and down. This is a very event-driven economy. So when we get big events like that, prices shift, and I want to talk about that. So with that said, let's talk about the usual stuff. Starting with Black Star weapons. These are for more of the newer players and people who are getting into the game. You're thinking about buying Black Stars or making it yourself. So if you're a new player, Black Stars, you're thinking about buying it, it's probably a better idea to buy one than to make one yourself. If you get the free hammers from the Olvia Academy, that's great. If you can guarantee it, or you're just like one off of Crownstone tap, probably fine. But would not really recommend self-enhancing it from base to all that yourself, because it's going to cost more than it is right now. So Tets are 7.5 billion. Pens are, realistically probably 20. If you're looking to buy one, put it at minimum. I guarantee you it'll fill the order in, less than a day. Awakening is probably the same. 11 bill, a little under 11 for the Tet, and 26 for Pen. It's a little bit higher if you're thinking about enhancing it for profit. I don't know if that's the best play, but yeah, offhands and Awakening right now. If you are going to enhance it, you want to go to Tet and then sell it. Just because going for Pen is literally negative profit if you are hitting averages, or if you are not one tapping it, you are losing a lot of silver. So go for Tet and then sell it. You're probably still going to be, breaking even after taxes, but if you get lucky, it is, a nice chunk of change. But enhancing Black Stars these days is not really great. It is what it is. We have Sovereign nowadays. But anyway, let's talk about the armor section. We're going to go into Fallen God armors and everything, right? So what we are all predicting at the Heido Ball is that Fallen God armors, I hope they are going to lower the aggres rate for enhancing it. This is still a notable item because, people at the mid game are still getting their thing from Try to Tet. As you can see, the price jump from 50 to 180 bill is pretty high, especially for a newer player. So, yeah, it's one of those things where the way to fix the problem is lower the aggres rate, literally cut it in half from 50 to like 20 or 25. It would still be pretty bad, but it's not as bad, right? So you still have to grind for it. But that would actually just solve the problem. Cutting the number in half across the board, so all the way from base all the way to Tet. And for everyone wondering, we're just going to talk about it. No, Pen or Obliterating is not worth going for. Once you get to the point of Tet, you're probably at Adania, which is the newest zone for endgame, and then you could exchange these armors for the Adana armors, and then you can self-enhance those from there. It's probably a little bit cheaper doing that, and the safer route, because this is, I'm pretty sure Obliterating is a meme. People go for it, and the people who get it obviously got really lucky. So assuming they are going to lower the rate for aggres and enhancing, I'm just going to tell you the fail stacks I used for it, and you can go from there. So base to pry, I used a 100 stack. They give those out like candy these days. You could probably start on 80 and go from there. It's probably not too bad. Pry to duo, I used like a 120 stack and went to 150. Duo to try, 150 to 200. And tried to Tet. I used like a 250 stack. 3 out of my 4 pieces were on a 250 or 245, somewhere around there. But I also enhanced my gear before Agris Essence was a thing, so there was no pity. You just click it and hope it goes. So, well, thank God there is a system now. Even though it's not great, I hope they lower it. And yeah, that's about it. So next thing we're going to talk about is the life skill gear. For all of you life skillers out there, the notable one worth enhancing for profit is probably going to be the Sailor's Clothes. As we all know, bartering is really good right now. It's also like a high investment but high reward. Hunter's Clothes, I don't think it's the highest right now. It's kind of low, but hunting low-key makes a lot of silver. You kind of have to get good at it, but it's really high, and it's up there with sailing. Cooking and alchemy, I don't think it's the highest, simply because, you know, everyone that does it already has pen clothes, and as we all know, more mastery affects your profit margins. So I feel like the people who are doing it already just have it, so that way it's going down. Fishing is always good. Fishing is fishing. I think even if you had a Tet, it's probably still fine, and even like at pen, like it helps your rare fish catch rate, but it's not going to boost it super noticeably. Give it about like a week and you'll make the money back if you're going for pen, so I think it's definitely worth investing into. Gathering is really good. I probably think it is one of the top life skills in terms of profit, and you know, you use a lot of the materials for cooking, alchemy, and you know, so on. So I think it's definitely worth investing into a pen at some point, but if you're new to it, Tet is fine. Yeah, no need to worry about all the blue and green gear if you're new and you don't know what to do. Basically, you do the Olvia Academy, and then you do the life skill, and you basically get try blue gear. It'll help you get started until you can upgrade into monos. And yeah, basically all this is free. Don't buy the blue one, just do the Olvia Academy and you're good. Okay, next we are going to be talking about accessories. Now this one is a tricky one because we don't know what's happening with them. At the Heidel Ball, there could be a random announcement of like, hey, we're just going to change all this entirely. But we're going to talk about Deboreka accessories and Preonne for the life skillers. So Debos right now are at an all-time low. They just like super tanked and they're going down. Reverse stonks, if you will. These used to be good for enhancing for profit. Nowadays, the margin of profit is so low to the point where you really have to have a merchant ring to do well, and you also have to, you know, get moderately lucky or hope for averages. So yeah, I don't know why, especially next week with the event going on, drop rates of everything are going to be going, you know, up. So that means everyone's going to get more accessories. I assume these are all going to go down in price. So yeah, now is probably not a good time to be enhancing Debo accessories for profit, but if you want to, great. The next thing we're going to be talking about is Preonne. So yeah, life skill accessories. Let's talk about this once again. So if you are new to the whole like Preonne system, what you look for in here is you see the life XP. That's that. Obviously, more mastery is better. If you can get to the deck, that's obviously good. But we're going to talk about the breakpoints of what you should do if you're a life skiller. So you see how this is 8% life XP, right? The next thing you're going to go from 8 to pen is like 10%. So from here all the way here is a 2% life increase. And then starting with hex, it goes to 12. And then it stays at 12 all the way to deck. And you see how the price jump is pretty high. So I would say the breakpoints from like if you're just starting out all the way to like mid to end is base to pen and then hex for the XP jump. And then obviously as you get into it more and more, you get more silver. You want to jump from like Nov to deck and everything. But yeah, what I'd recommend for most people, like if you are not a full-time life skiller, you could just go like hex, and that goes for all of them. So the order of accessories you should go for is probably necklace first, and then followed by ring, belt, and then earrings. But they all kind of give like the same amount of mastery, but just know what you're looking for is life XP as well. So, yep, those are Preonnes. Next thing we're going to be talking about, some things you guys should go for, is iridescent Lightstones. They're still pretty expensive, to be honest. Like, it looks like it's going down, but it's barely going down. So, like, this is what, 3.5 to 3.8. Now it's like 3.0, so it's still expensive. The reason why they're expensive is if you are doing any sort of life skilling or even PvE, chances are you see these iridescents, they go in all like the best in the slot life skill artifact combos. I have a video talking about what I use for everything. If you want to watch it, I'll leave it in the description. It's a longer video, so I don't talk about it twice. But yeah, a lot of the different life skills and even grinding, so uses basically one iridescent, so that's why they're popular if you plan on doing that. Next thing we're going to be talking about artifacts. Once you get into the end game, Kabuas are pretty insane, and as we get more new players and returning players to the game, everyone needs multiple Kabuas. Especially, you might think you can just use one, but I think realistically, I have something for everything. But for, your average player, you're probably going to need, I would say, maybe 1 or 2 different sets. And the reason why is you're going to want all-out attack if you don't meet the AP caps. That is the best way to get to the higher grind spots. This will give you the most AP to reach your new grind spot. If you are overcapped, then you would use Vicious Shadows, target openings. I would say Vicious Shadows is used more in most things because it'll give you more overall damage, assuming you are hitting back attacks on enemies, which is dependent on the spot, but I would say a majority of people are going to be using Vicious Shadows. If you are using species damage, it might be a little bit higher than all-out attack if you are grinding in one spot specifically, but so I would just say for most people, all-out attack is great until you get to spots where you need it. The only one I would say is probably the most important is Adonia for species, because you really need gear upgrades like Nav and Deck weapons, which is extremely hard, and then that's where these come in. But aside from that, if you're not grinding Adonia, Vicious Shadows, all attack, generally good enough for everything. If you're a PvPer, 1 to 2 PvP artifacts are the way to go, and you don't even need 2, you just need 1 set. 2 is if you're doing more than one thing. So yeah, there's that. Next, we are going to be talking about enhancement materials. So this one is probably going to change within the next couple of weeks, simply because, once again, the event is coming up. So what is going down? Capris are probably going down. Mem frags will never recover as long as Gamba boxes are in the game and people are spending money on pearls to buy the boxes. Essence of Dawn, this might go up a little bit just because these are very limited, and people are going to be making more money slamming things, so these essences might go up. Enhancing, for various things, these might, these are max price, so yeah, those stay the same. Primordials and stuff might go up, and then building fail stacks for enhancing might go up as well, but I don't really know about these two. We'll just have to see next week. Reforges, they are all minimum price. I feel like Prolibus should do something with these because there's just too many of them on the market. It was a good idea, but then as time passes, and because these don't break, once you get everything you want, you're good to go. There's no need to do anything else with it. So yeah, the ones you should go for, let me just show you in case you are at that stage of the game, is Reforges. If you are a PvEer, the ones you probably want are AP, crit rate, crit damage, back attack, and black spirit recovery. The one that's your flex spot is the back attack, and depending on the grind spot you're going for, you could change this for down attack or something. If you feel like you need more defenses, you could change the crit rate out for all DR, and that's pretty good. If you're a PvPer, a few things you swap out are you could change BSR, and you could have more accuracy or all damage reduction, depending on your class, obviously. And then down attack is the same as this, but down attack. So yeah, I use that for all 3 of them, and that's just pretty good. All right, next we are going down the list of life tools. The gathering treasure item is still pretty popular. I got mine. It took me about like 30-40-ish hours, and we talked about the wheel of stuff. So if you were looking for profit with gathering, fluid collecting, bloods and saps are really good. Meats from butchering is very good. If you're looking for XP, herb gathering, tree logs and everything are good. Tanning and mining are ones where you are using the materials to craft items for yourself. It's not really super profitable, but it's like one of those things you do because you need it for yourself more than anything. So profit comes in from fluid collecting, butchering, and sometimes herb gathering. But you know, all of these 4, you can't really go wrong with them. More tailored towards what you do, cooking, alchemy, and so on. But just know that any of these 4 are pretty good. The other 2 are stuff you use for yourself to make the items, and if that makes sense. Okay, next. So we talked about life tools. If it's not max price, it's good. Let's look at it. 26. I believe if you were to pity it, right? It's a 35 agris, so I believe the total cost would be around 35 billion silver to hard max. And yeah, so even if you buy it at max here, it's still slightly cheaper, but you know, enhancing is half the fun for some people. Alchemy Stones. I would say for most people, if you can get a Splendid for like under 200 bill, it's pretty good. As more people get it, the price will just go down. I paid 200 something for mine, but like anything under 200 I would say is really good. Shining, anything under 1.2 trillion for shining I think is a good deal. Obviously getting that silver is the hard part, but if you're at the end game and you're thinking about shining, 1.2 trill or under, very good. When it comes to life and protection, you just want to buy these at hard minimum. Like I promise you, no one is going to buy these unless it's minimum like 1 actual at the floor. Other than that, for PvPers, Splendid is probably the soft cap for Alchemy Stones for most people. Shining will just happen over time through pity or so on. But yeah, when you get it, it's just, you know, it's nice to have. Yeah. Oh, there's a Splendid Stone listed for 184. I think Lifeskillers, if you can buy one, these are pretty good. I think the price is a little bit different. Like I'd value these higher just because Lifeskillers play a different game than PvEers and PvPers. So it's one of those things. So next we're going to be talking about not mounts, ship licenses and everything. So Blue Battlefield, you know, it's pretty fun. People want to try it out every now and then. So let's just talk about the 4 different ships and what you should get. If you are thinking about doing any sort of boat PvP or sea monster hunting, basically anything where you need more damage, the Valor is the way to go. Volante is the speedboat, gets from point A to B the fastest, and you know, it's pretty nice actually. Advance and Balance are more for the PvE bartering side, so if you do sailing but also bartering, it has more weight and everything. So I would say either of these 2 are good options. I think they actually buffed the balance and it's actually good now. But yeah, so ask yourself what you want to do with your Carrack and then pick the boat that works for you. Aside from that, pick the color that you like. That is the most important thing in my opinion, how the boat looks. So once again, Valor for more damage, Volante for speed, Advance and Balance for bartering. But at the end of the day, how do you know? So you look here, and where is it? Dude, I have no idea. Which boat looks the nicest to you of the four? I like this one. And I have a Valor. So. Aside from that, that's about it. If you have the Star of Nostos, half of these things are a little bit less relevant. So basically, if you've been using these blessings, they're essentially the convenient scrolls that give you the same as the house furnishing or the furniture buffs. If you have the star, you just buy the furniture and go back to your house from your grind spot. Great. The only thing that I think is super important that they don't have for house furnishings is a life skill mastery. So if you do any sort of life skills, obviously you're going to have to use these. But the alternative to the AP ones or equivalent is in your furniture. What you're going to want to go down to is decoration, sort up, and try to buy like the Shadow Lion heads. These essentially do the same thing, give you more hours and time value out of it, and they're cheaper than paying 60 mil per one. So like you just get a lot higher value for your silver when you're doing this. So that's about it. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Would love to see you come back. We got a lot of stuff to come next week in terms of events, new content, and we're going to be talking about the Heidel Ball later this month. So yeah, if you have any questions, drop in the comments. And we also have a Discord if you need gear help and anything. We have a channel for that, whether you're a life skiller, PvEer, PvPer, join the channel. Happy to point you guys in the right direction. And I will see you guys later. Peace.